In a certain town, there lived four young fellows who were the sons of Brahmins. They were very friendly with each other, but they were utterly destitute, so they met to decide what to do. Curse this poverty, they said. It's so true what they say. When a man loses his money, his friends and relatives avoid him. He is deserted by his own sons. Even a gentle wife born of good family wants nothing to do with him. None of his good qualities are appreciated, and his troubles multiply. His name, his body, his voice, his mind remain the same, but everything else collapses in a flash. And it is much better to live in seclusion, in a thorny jungle full of tigers and elephants, to sleep on a bed of grass and wear clothes made of bark, than to live amongst one's kith and kin in utter poverty. The four friends concluded. And so let us leave this town and go somewhere else. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am reading the tales of Panchatantra written by Vishnu Sharma, and today I started reading the story of Chakradhar. Then they gave up their home, their town, their friends and their relatives and started off on their travels. After some time they came to Avanti. They bathed in the river Sipra and worshipped at Shiv's temple. As they were coming out, they met a yogi by the name of Bhairavanand. They bowed respectfully to him and accompanied him to his ashram. When they arrived there, he asked them, "Who are you? Where do you come from? And where are you going? What is the purpose of your journey?" They said, "We are going where we can either make money or meet our death." For they say water comes not only in the form of rain dropped from the sky, but also by digging deep in the earth. Now we have heard that you are gifted with wonderful powers, so please tell us some way of making money, whether it be by going into a cave, living in a shamshan, by praying to Shakini, by offering human sacrifices, or with the help of magic wigs. Please help us. Bhairavananda took pity on them and gave them 4 wigs made of cotton, one to each of them, and said, "Go in the direction of the Himalayas. When any one of you accidentally drops his wig, you will be sure to find a treasure hidden in that spot. Dig it out, collect the treasure, and return home with it." The four Brahmins nodded their consent and started off towards the Himalayas. After a few days' journey, one of them dropped his cotton wig. He dug where it had fallen and uncovered a treasure of copper. He began to collect the copper and cried to the others, "Come on, you two take as much as you can carry and let's go home. Why go any further?" The others replied, "Stupid, however much copper you collect, you will still be poor. Let us go on." He replied, "Well, you can go on, but I shall return home with this copper." And so he took as much copper as he could carry and returned home. The other three continued their journey. After a few days, the second Brahmin dropped his cotton wig. He started digging and uncovered a treasure of silver. He cried out in delight and said to the other two, "Come on, you two take as much as you can carry and let's go home. Why go any further?" The others replied, "Stupid, however much silver you collect, you'll still be relatively poor. Besides, first we had copper and now we have silver. Next time we are sure to find gold. So let us go on." He replied, "You go on, but I shall return home with this silver." And so he collected as much silver as he could carry and returned home. The other two continued their journey. After a few days, the third Brahmin dropped his cotton wig. Joyfully, he started digging in the ground and he uncovered a heap of gold. He cried to his companion, "Come on, you two take as much as you can carry and let's go home. Why go any further?" The other replied, "Stupid, you don't understand anything. First it was copper, then silver, and now gold. Next time we are sure to find diamonds and pearls, so that if we take only one, we shall never be poor again. In any case, what is the point of carrying all this heavy load? Let us go on." His companion replied, "You go on, but I shall stay here and watch over this gold. I'll wait until you return." So the fourth Brahmin continued his journey alone. When he had gone some way, the fourth Brahmin began to suffer from the tremendous heat and he felt very thirsty. Soon he lost the way that the yogi had directed him to follow and began to go round and round in circles. While he was wandering, he suddenly came across a man whose body was smeared all over with blood. The man had a wheel whirling around his head. Quickly, the Brahmin went over to him and said, "Who are you? And what is this wheel around your head? But whoever you are, for goodness sake, tell me quickly, where can I get water?" Now, the minute he uttered these words, the wheel shifted from the other man to him and began to whirl around his own head. He cried, "Friend, what is this?" "This wheel attached itself to my head in similar circumstances," the man replied. The Brahmin wailed, "But when shall I get rid of it? It pained me beyond endurance." The man replied, "Only when someone carrying a magic wick comes here and speaks to you will this wheel leave you and attach itself to him." The Brahmin asked, "How long have you been here?" By way of reply, the man asked him, "Who is ruling the earth now?" The Brahmin replied, "Vinavansh." The man said, "I cannot guess accurately when I came here, but I remember that it was in the reign of King Ram that I was desperate with poverty. I managed to procure a magic wick and in due courses ended up here. I saw a man with a wheel whirling around his head. I asked him the same questions you asked me, and in the same way, the wheel left him and attached itself to me." The Brahmin said, "But, friend, how did you manage to get food and water with a wheel whirling around your head all the time?" The man replied, "My dear fellow, anyone who comes here is free from hunger, thirst, old age, and death. But he suffers pain all the time, as you do now." Kuber, afraid that his treasure would be stolen, prepared this device, and ever since no one dare approach this place except with the help of a magic wick. Now, goodbye. I'm going home." With these words, the man took his leave and left the Brahmin alone. Now, when the Brahmin's friend, whose name was Swan Siddhi, found that he was taking so long to return, he followed his footprints and finally arrived at the same place. He found his friend drenched in blood, his eyes flooding with tears, and a wheel whirling around his head. "Friend," he said, "whatever has happened, it's all the result of fate being against me." Chakradhar replied, and he told him the whole story of the whirling wheel. When he had finished, his friend said, "Brother, you are a good scholar, but you lack common sense. You would not listen to my good advice when I said, 'Let's pick up the gold and go home.' You wanted pearls and diamonds. Well, it's true what they say. Common sense is superior to scholarship. The scholars who were devoid of common sense put life into the lion and died as a result." Chakradhar asked, "How was that?" And Swan Siddhi told. But I'll tell you in my next video. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.